Honey, my name's Ashley Manitwabi. I'll be your host for this live stream. We'll be doing a recording of Between Two Balls, episode 3 at the Bodge Magic Creation Center in our lovely studio here. And we also have a special guest here, Kerri, call her Lavender now, since that's what she gave me. And so she's here also in the studio. So we're just getting ready, and we're getting ready for you to grab your cup of coffee, cup of tea, biscuit, whatever you may be doing. Maybe you're doing laundry, or maybe you're playing with your kids, but you'll be tuning in and getting ready for a great show. Because if you haven't watched an episode yet or a live, there's a special segment that happens in here. It's called Between Two Balls, where one bingo ball gets pulled from a bingo machine, and that bingo ball is going to be an emotion for the first bingo ball. The second one's going to be a character, that second bingo ball. And then that's how I'm going to have to, perform in front of our guests. So we're not sure what's going to happen with that. But we're ready, and we're geared, and I hope you're ready also. And I think all our cameras are ready, eh? Do I sound good? The volume is good out there? Everyone could hear good? Yeah? Okay, well, we could get started then. You ready? With the intro for the podcast.
You just tuned into Between Two Balls, the show where random rules the game. One ball gives the emotion, the other reveals the character. Imagine being a joyful little robot, sad like a superhero, or angry like a pirate. Arr! Two draws, infinity stories. This is the only show that's powered by bingo balls, and anything can happen.
Honey, my name's Ashley Manitwabi, and I'm your host for Between Two Balls, the only show that's powered by bingo balls. We have a special guest here today, Kerri Lavender. I've known Kerri for many years, growing up here at the Bodge. And she lives on the island, also on the other side of Manitoulin, if you're wondering where we're at right now and where the artists are coming from. They're all coming from Manitoulin Island for Between Two Balls, as we currently are speaking here. I'm just going to, we're going to pass me that. I'm going to do a little introduction. I haven't done it before for the previous ones, but Kerri Lavender is a settler living on Manado Minising since 2010, an artist, writer, filmmaker, educator, clown, farmer, and she co-founded Annie's Lavender Farm, where she grows Munstead lavender, keeps a herd of goats, and creates land-based spaces for connection. How's that, folks? Are you ready? Let's bring on Kerri here. So we had a little conversation outside, kind of like breaking the ice and everything outside, getting some fresh air. Yeah. And so we'll be talking about a few things today. We'll be talking about a book you're writing. We'll also talk about some natural materials that you're using on your homestead. And we'll probably touch on a little bit more stuff. And maybe that clown will come out also, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So what have you been up to this past month?
This past month, September, realizing that the 6 Foot Festival is at the end of this month, and that I've got to get my weaving going faster. This year I took on the challenge of weaving a roof for my 6 foot box, and I've never woven anything before, even though my grandmother Ba would like me to. So it's, so I'm a little bit like, that couple weeks before a show where you're like, oh, I don't think I'm where I'm supposed to be. But the great thing about the theme of this show and 6 Foot is you're exactly where you need to be, if you go through the process, even if it feels like what you had planned in the beginning when you write the application to apply to be a part of the 6 Foot Festival, what happens in the next 2 months after that can go many different ways. And it's been really fun to do this specific 6 Foot box. You know, I am a clown, and I do a lot of work with kids, and I do a lot of work with seniors. I call myself a therapeutic clown now because I'm not kind of doing the that show anymore. Yeah. I'm, you know, going into homes with people who have lost family, and helping them go through their stuff and do that grief purging. And you know, the thing about clown is you can take a bingo ball emotion and a character and put it together, because we've done enough work to explore the emotional landscape that you can slide in, right? So
that's why I kind of think it's not too nerve-wracking or too spontaneous. Like you're getting those offers from the gods to those 2 balls, those 2 god balls to come out, and that segment's gonna come up in this podcast very shortly. I know you talked about a lot of things there, and you did talk about something that you like working with now, and we did talk about it previously about the natural fibers that you're using these days, because you're kind of like focused on the natural world.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like starting a farm when you haven't gone to school to be an agriculture, you know, you don't have any experience. I grew up in Vancouver, Winnipeg, and Toronto, and so to come to Manitoulin, you know, in 2010, and kind of be a reluctant farmer because I don't know how to farm, but I know how important food sovereignty is, how seed collection goes, and I've just learned so much over the last, you know, 15 years that I've been here. And with the haying on the farm, we were trying to find twine to bale the hay. And all the twine is plastic. And so my partner did a great deal of research and found Maple Leaf Ropes has a twine. I brought it.
Maple Leaf Ropes.
Maple Leaf Ropes, which is like, does all sorts of rope stuff. They make this twine for crafts and for hay. And it's sisal. And the only place it's made is in Brazil.
What's sisal?
Sisal is a natural fiber.
Okay.
And I can give you a link for it, but you know, I'm just learning about it because when I was working on the 6 Foot box and this idea of how do I bring glimpses of my book Bramble to this box, because the land's language is something that when I arrived on Manitoulin, the land was speaking to me. The land has always taken care of me because I grew up in an environment where the land took care of me more than my parents. And so, you know, I've been in relationship in a deep way. And so we really didn't want to buy something with chemicals on it because it's for the hay for the goats. So here's a natural material. So I really was like, how do we can't reuse it for hay, you know, and it's coming from Brazil. I want to talk about carbon footprints, you know, like holy. So I decided to take it, and every time I, you know, unravel a bale and give it to the goats, I take another piece and add it to my 6 Foot project because I'm making a roof for the 6 Foot project out of the sisal. And just the different ways you can use it. And, you know, like we could throw it out, we could bury it, like lots of farmers bury their materials. And as you were saying out back when we were talking, that you'll, you know, find some plastic string and, you know, some twine from hay and stuff like that. And, you know, how much plastic in the environment is just, it's overruling it, right? So I just thought, how do we, this land, food, art, how do I incorporate the things that are in my daily life? And that's where the sisal came into it.
So what made you kind of think about getting a natural fiber like it is? I know you did mention something about your goats, feeding your goats, and so what kind of made you make that step forward to actually get this from, rather than just using the stuff that you could just get down the road at the local hardware store?
Yeah, I think that, you know, that conversation with the land is what got us there, right? It's like we don't want to keep contributing plastic. We know we are. We're, when you go out for food, this is just, you can't avoid it in so many ways, even in the clothing we're wearing, right? So in ways that we can do harm reduction in the plastic addiction, it's more expensive, of course, but it is, what is the expense of using plastic, the long-term expense. And so I think it comes down to like that relationship and give and take in the land, that word reciprocity, right? Is that, in building this farm, a lot of people are like, can we come and see it? And just realizing that it is a 100-year plan, and how do we bring people onto the land in a way that respects it and doesn't trample it and leave garbage behind. And also, when you're bringing people to the space, how do you manage their poo and their pee and what they're going to do, right? So like talking about outhouses versus porta potties and those kind of conversations. I've had some conversation with other lavender farmers about it, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're getting like right into the details of
the minutia,
doing,
right? Yeah. And the last 2 years, I went to Kenjigewintag for early childhood education in Anishinaabemowin, and I really learned, especially from Dr. Rhonda Hopkins, that slow is the way to go, right? And that when we slow down, we become more aligned with what's around us, people, animals. This was a really great provocation. What is the land's language, right? So I'm always shy to be an artist, and last year I kind of looked at my 6-foot box and went, oh my God, I'm a visual artist. And someone said, you're a clown. What do you mean you're not? Like, what are you talking about? But as like an installation, I guess I never really thought that that's what I did. And then when I looked at it and looked at the documentation of the work I'm doing in relationship with the land, a lot of my friends are like, where have you been for 5 years? Well, I'm in a really amazing love affair with this 77 acres that I'm a guardian of, right? And it's complicated because how do you navigate the responsibilities, right? So
there's a lot of responsibilities that you're taking on for the land and appreciating the land, and I guess more like respecting the land as much as you can and honoring it. And I like it that you're giving voice to the land, also like the way you're talking about it and how you're taking care of it and having respect for it as much as you can. And I'm just curious, I know you're doing that, and it's almost like raising a child, where you're kind of trying to raise them as best as you can. Kind of that's how I kind of see it when you're talking. But so what do you get back? Like what are there like thoughts that were a good feeling, or is it just something you just naturally do now, or like when you first started?
When I first started, well, I have to say that learning the language, learning Anishinaabemowin, I know I have a little buh like there, but and my pronunciation is a bit off, but learning, like I'm still in sight words, right? Like, so learning the language helped open my heart and my spirit to something bigger, I always knew that the wind talked to me, but knowing the name Noden changes the conversation, right? It's more intimate, I think, and man, it's what's my side of what do I get out of it? Healing, intense healing. And, when we look at early childhood education, I think the reason I went there to kind of make my clown more robust was I want to work with adults who maybe didn't get that early childhood education support. I know I didn't. And I know I had to go back and reparent myself, and going through this program and going, oh, that's what you need before you're 6 years old. Holy, okay. That explains a little bit of why I'm caught up in my angst or my sadness. And, I made a joke earlier. You said it might be funny. And I said, oh, well, there might be sad clown here too, right? Yeah. There's a great deal of healing. I feel really grounded in who I am. And, it's really important. And as I learned those sight words and maybe a couple sentences, how to introduce myself to the land, how to be quiet, how to be slow, which is not settler mentality, right? Like it's all pace and capitalism and, you know, make money and just work, 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 work and keep going and keep trying to accumulate stuff, you know? And so it's really opened my heart up, right? And so as I was, you know, sitting and pondering what is the land's language, my son and I were watching Stranger Things and he said, "Oh my God, finally there's a computer." And it wasn't a computer, it was a microfiche. And like, I'm almost 50 years old, I'm 49 years old, and so I did a lot of research on microfiche, and people might not know what microfiche is, but you know, that idea of holding all this information that is just magnified on a film that you're researching, I had this moment where I was like, oh my goodness, the land holds as an archive, a microfiche, all memory. And it is connected, you know, through mycelium, and there's lots of theory, and different scientific theory, and different, you know, traditional ecological knowledge about that conversation. I just really realized that wherever I am situated on the planet, the land reads me like a microfiche. It reads my blood memory, and, you know, then I took it an extra step and went, okay, I'm understanding a little bit of what is coming, what the conversation is. What would happen if I learned my own native tongue? Mm-hmm. What would happen if I learned Gaelic? What would happen if I learned Swiss German, you know, which were never a part of my childhood? Probably a part of my parents' addiction stuff was being removed from belonging of who they are and where they come from, and how that is intergenerational trauma for settlers. So, you know, taking the lessons and the teachings from the land here and the elders here and the people whose land it truly is has made my world better. And it's made my community better. It's made my child better. It's just, there's nothing but positivity in that relationship, you know? And it heals a lot of those wounds that I didn't know how to reconcile throughout my life. And, you know, it's no longer all sad, sad poetry. Sometimes it is, you know, because there's lots of trauma we go through, right? Mm-hmm. So, but as I was writing that about the microfiche and language, I really divined the spirit radio, my little AM, FM radio, and I was struck by lightning. You know, the lightning hit the ground outside. It went through the garage, it came out of the speaker of the spirit radio and hit my arm and came out my shoulder. And I thought, oh my God, I'm in this conversation about my 6-foot project. Could it be a microfiche? Could it be this? Could it be that? And then the land literally spoke back to me, you know? And it is the number one way people pass in lightning situations. And so, you know, it was, you know, a kind of a defibrillation of the universe or something. I don't know, but it's really taken me, like that happened at, you know, the beginning of August when the applications were due. And this whole 2-month period of building this has really, like, you're on the right path and just keep going, you know, and what I'm writing is a little bit of my healing in this conversation with the land. So I've been working on Bramble, the book, for 4 years. So
yeah, you talked a lot about healing and different experiences you're having. I kind of like that you're having all these different experiences and things that you kind of just want to emphasize on, right? Those experiences, because having those experiences and then sharing those stories with people. Being an artist, you want to kind of figure out what happened or what's going on. Like there's many times when I kind of do the observe and interact with nature, or in the morning, or if I'm working on something, then I notice now that I'm also thinking, okay, what's going on here? And then something comes up, an idea that, oh, okay, that's what's supposed to happen. Okay, I'll wait for the next idea or thing that comes to me. So I like what you talked about, take it slow. Don't try to plan everything at once. Don't try to do everything at an instant. Like, it takes time, it takes patience. Like one of the 7 values here that we use is patience, and that's the one we start off with is patience.
Yeah.
To have patience on exploring ourselves, exploring our art practice and what we're doing. And I'm also working on a 6-foot cube, and I'm exploring a lot of things, and I'm taking it step by step where I'm thinking, and then an idea comes on. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll focus on that. I'll make a note of that, and then I'm not trying to plan the whole thing at once. I'm making it my journey of the things coming to the next stage. I know there is things where technically you have to plan ahead, like to schedule things or plan how it's going to be designed, but there's all the other little things that you want to keep free, right? You want those things to come at the right moment in your journey, and I think a lot of things are coming at the right moment in your journey that I think is really something to be grateful of and thankful of.
Super. Like, it's just like those daily miigwechwendums, gratitude moments, they're important. They really, it is about continuing a moving conversation. And it doesn't have to be with words. It can be with that sense of gratitude, like that sense of, for me, especially since I got to Manitoulin, feeling held by the land in a completely different way. Yeah.
So this is Kerri, everybody, and we're gonna kind of switch up this show a little bit to give you guys a little taste on what's coming, because we're gonna start this next episode. I did let Kerri know on what we're gonna be doing, and we kind of know what's gonna happen, but we kind of don't know what's gonna happen. So this is we're gonna start off this next segment called Between Two Balls.
And now it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. Between two balls. Here's how it works. We'll pick one ball with an emotion and one ball with a character. Then Ashley will become that emotional character and the interview keeps rolling. Let's see what we pull today.
All right, there, bingo caller there. Shuffle them up.
Shuffling the balls. Shuffling the balls.
All right, so before we start this first, I'm gonna have to write this down somewhere. This first bingo ball that's gonna come out is gonna be my emotion that I'm gonna have to be while conversating with you, Kerri.
Awesome.
All right.
We ready?
Yep.
First number is 068. Hear that? 068.
And what emotion is that?
Just checking our emotion chart right now. We're just checking the emotion chart. Oh, 68 is adventurous.
Adventurous.
Your emotion is adventurous. 068. All right, you ready for our next number?
Yepers.
All right, our next number is B15.
And what character is that?
It is Monster.
What?
We
Don't we
had
just
this
have
one
that?
sit this morning.
I don't know it must be the monster day today.
Yeah, you must really want to be a monster today.
Yeah. So I could try to switch it up a little bit on the monster. Maybe a different kind of monster. Well, it's going to be a little bit different, but sorry about that.
Alrighty, take it away.
Okay. The monster. All right. So we're going to start this conversation, Kerri,
All right.
as me being an adventurous monster. All right. Upon my discovery as a self-proclaimed white beast, I've been thinking many times on my adventure about Lavender. So, could you tell me, who would you love to work with if you could choose anyone?
I
I do great adventures, and I explore many places in this earth, and
I think it would be an adventure. I really want to work with Alicia Sidler.
I heard that name before.
I think you did.
I think on my times out in the East Coast, I've seen her a few times.
Yeah, down
Doing a
in
little-
Bear River.
Yes, in Bear River. That's the place.
Yeah, Bear River. Yeah, I just would love to just have the energy just go back and forth, and I'd like to cultivate my own adventureness. And I know she would really, push
Well,
me.
if you want any tips on how to prepare to create an adventure, you could always come to me, because I've been on many ups and downs, many roller coasters, and many trees underneath the ground, above the ground. I've been all over the place. So if you want to do that, all by means, you could come to me. And sometimes you just have to put those thoughts and be adventurous. I got another question about you about this before you start collaborating with Alicia. Where do you see yourself heading in the next few years with Alicia?
I think it'll be a slow roll, but I don't know what will come out, but it'll be good. I know, if I really cultivate it, she's in Bear River, Nova Scotia, and that requires some adventure for sure. I don't know where it's going to go, but that was first thought, best thought is, that's who I want to work with.
Tip number one, as me, on my adventures, I had many achievements that brought me to strange places and wonderful things, even some that almost took my index finger. But besides my index finger, what's one thing you've accomplished that makes you really proud?
I am a mother, and I'm a good mother, and I'm the mother that I wanted when I was a child. And and I just think that fosters all the growth that I've been in. So that's my accomplishment for sure.
She's a mother of a mother.
A mother of a mother.
And a growing mother who likes to take care of things. There's been many little saplings that I have damaged back in the day, but I kind of heard them saying, take me with you. I could be your handle, I could be your spear, I could be your protection. So what do you want to hear? Well, I just want to hear you to tell me, how did you first get into your work and how you started your journey?
I had a partner who always looked at my big nose and always said, you are a clown. You should go to clown training. You are a clown. Look at that nose. You don't even have to wear a nose. You should go to clown training. And for 2 years, I was harassed about it in the most positive way. And then I trained as a clown, and here I am. And I just take it everywhere I go. Yeah.
That's just like that little branch that came with me. It was just nagging at me and telling me, repeating himself over and over and over, you must take me. And a few years ago, I lost that branch. But I didn't know what to do out there, so I just want to ask you for some advice. If you could give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Slow your roll and stop giving so much unsolicited advice. It's judgment, and just listen and have a bigger conversation rather than giving advice.
Yes. Well, that gives me an idea, because I'm planning to go down south. I'm not sure how I'm going to get there, but I think what's going to happen is I'm going to bring another willow I'm going to find, or another little sapling on the side of the road, and it's going to bring me what I think it needs to bring me. For many adventures, you always need a tool. You need some kind of tool, because if you don't come with a tool, and then you're worthless. When I say worthless, because I'm always doing my daily grind every day, working as hard as I can to go to my next destination to see who I could find. based on that, on your daily interaction with people, what does a typical day look like to you for you right now?
Well, I would say that I don't have as much daily interaction with masses of people anymore. I'm much more quiet and homebound because I've been working on this very personal project for the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
Oh, personal
Yeah.
project.
Yeah, my adventure is to, excuse my language, shut the fuck up.
Oh, yes. So I think that's very inspiring because I think I should write a book about my adventures.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
are
Going
some-
south, going east, of course you should.
Yes, maybe I could call it the southeast or the northwest or the east-west.
Or the never eat soggy wieners.
Yes, you got it there, folks. So based on doing a book, what are some things that I should look forward to?
In doing a book, there'll be a lot of time where you're reflecting. There'll be a lot of editing. There'll be a lot of people calling, going, do you want to hang out? And you saying, no, I guess we should blah, 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 blah. You'll have to choose your adventures wisely so that you can get it done under 20 years.
Under 20 years?
Yes.
Oh my jolly. I think I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
I think I am ready for that because this is going to be my defining moment in my adventure. I did see pretty things, and I'm always going to places. And I want to ask you another question about this. What's one moment where you knew you were on the right path in your book?
Well, I would have to say getting splashed by lightning was a good hint that maybe I would, and living and surviving might be the thing that said, you're on the right track, keep going, like a land-based validation, as it were.
Oh, I just want to experience that. I don't think many people could experience that, folks. And that's something that's special. And I think you're special. And I think you're something that inspires me. And I think on my adventures, I'm going to be thinking about you. And I hope I see you again someday because we need people like you. We need adventurous people like you that explore all different avenues and ways of going in that right direction. So thank you, Kerri. Thank you very much.
We'll catch each other on the radio waves.
All right. And that's that part of of the adventurous monster. So being adventurous, I think it is really good, I guess, to think about it that way too, like having an adventure with your book. Do you have anything that you want to share, like any sneak peeks about your book? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have a piece
Yeah.
that I could read. It's on my phone. I didn't
Yeah.
print it out. Yeah, it's not that long, and yeah, if time affords it. If
Oh,
you're
yes.
okay, here we go. The ones I still feed. It's always the little things. A sliver of schnitzel, a lemon, a grape, a cookie, not a feast, but a gesture. A whisper between worlds, a message slipped under the veil, an act of memory and responsibility, even when the living don't understand. I learned it at Kenjke Winteg, in a class on roles and responsibilities and respect for the land. It wasn't about belief, not exactly. It was about relationship, about continuance. The teaching went like this. You either send food to one soul for 365 days or to 365 souls for 1 day each. That's how I understood my role, how I choose to show up for the unseen. So I began making tiny plates, offerings, dinners for the dead, not every day, but when the rhythm called, at solstices, at equinoxes, on death days and birthdays. Or just on a windy Tuesday when the world tilts slightly and the trees seem to listen harder. I wrap them in cloth, sometimes linen, sometimes velvet, sometimes old dish towels, or a strip of bark. I tuck in sage, a petal, maybe a thread from an actual dress that Rebecca wore. I say their names. I say thank you. I say sorry. Sometimes I say nothing at all. Just the act is a prayer. My son watches, skeptical. He says, I have controversies. I tell him, you have opinions. And still, I send the spirit boat. Because sometimes, yes, sometimes I send a grand feast. Because I imagine the spirit world like an open-air party. A welcoming committee in full swing. And at the party, someone leans in and announces, there's a buffet coming! So I send it for Barbara Ba, for Debbie's mom, for Jimmy Ba, for my mother, for Aldona Ba, for the babies I never held, for my ancestors in the Alps sitting on carved wooden benches dipping bread into bubbling fondue, wearing the new silk leather I bundled into cloth and smoke. I see my mother, not in the clothes she died in, not in whatever she was wearing when they found her 5 days later in that hotel room. No, I dress her anew in stripes and florals and polka dots, in fur and leather and soft things that drape like love. I feed her chocolate and roast chicken and cherry tomatoes. I feed her what no one did when she was here. I make the birch bark boat with my hands. I was taught how, with respect, if the red of the birch is on the bottom, the boat goes on the land. If the white is on the bottom, it goes into the fire. One way, it returns through root and soil, the other through smoke and air. And I, a settler on this land, follow this teaching as carefully as I follow the wind. Not because I know everything, but because I was trusted with enough to begin. Because really, the dead feed us. Through roots, through memory, through the way the land holds our names. We don't send offerings as superstition. We send them as reciprocity with the land, with the people, with the ancestors, with all that came before us. We feed the dead because they still feed us.
Oh, that's really amazing. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that. It's,
it's the first time I've read a chapter from my book out loud in front of people that I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really good, thoughtful way of thinking about people. And you brought up a lot of memories too, because some of the people you mentioned there that have gone to the spirit world, it's just thinking about them and then thinking about the time back in the day. Back in the day.
Totally.
Those thoughts, but those thoughts could also, those memories could also engage us and inspire us too. Like those days are, there's like, I could just think about all those energy, kind of those energy spirits of those people, how kind of energy they brought, and sometimes you think about them, then it kind of is like, where's that energy?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really good. Like just your whole like thought, I guess, and I guess way of you kind of proceed in the right way that you know how to do it, to honor them and everything. But then including your experience with your family and your son, and it's something I'm getting interested in now.
Yeah.
I want to know more. So what's the title of that book that you're in?
The book is Bramble. The book is Bramble, and the 6 Foot project is going to be some shards of, like I'm trying to create a feeling of walking into the bramble. And bramble is, that blackberry, raspberry, the bushes that grow underneath the tree canopy, right? Mm-hmm. And what I learned from an elder in the permaculture community is that the bramble is the nursery for the oldest trees. So it takes 10 years for an oak tree to get higher than the bramble, and then the bramble will go. But that oak tree needs the bramble, and it's so interesting to have come out of ECE and be writing this book, and I had no idea that bramble is actually the daycare, the little nursery for all those old ancient trees that will be there long after us, right? So so I'm really excited to do that and to create this image or this feeling of where people could go into the bramble, and the bramble is parts of my book that they can read, so.
Oh, so you get like some kind of, I don't know what you say, like a taste of your book, and spend time in the bramble.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think everyone has bramble in their lives.
Don't they, right? And we learn our paths through it. We learn the paths around thorns, and maybe our boundaries even look a little bit like bramble, messy. If you get too close, you're gonna get scratched, right? And so there's a lot of metaphor on the land, right? When I think about the goats, and we think about that self-reflection that you were talking about earlier, goats, they chew the cud, and they bring it up and they chew it again. And so why would it take so long to write a book? Bonnie Kogo said, be prepared for 7 years when I said I was starting, and it's because of that. Because you are writing and you are putting your stuff together, and then you're chewing it and you're chewing it, and then you digest it, but then you got to bring it up and re-chew the cud. And watching those goats really digest their food teaches me about really digesting my experience,
Yeah, so thinking about what you're saying, your process, you're like watching from the land and learning from it on their patterns in nature, and then like you talk about the goat on their patterns and how they eat something and how they have to re-eat it again and things like that, and then you're kind of using that kind of way of that pattern into how you're gonna process and write.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. So there's are you gonna have like some of that stuff in there, or that'll be something that you'll kind of explain later, or like a synopsis of how the book's written, or?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm still working on the roof that I'm going to hang it from. So it'll be interesting to see how the next 2 weeks go and what on the 26th is actually in that box, right? And that's what's so fabulous about this whole festival is you have all these plans of how it's going to go, and then you start working on it. And if you choose to not be rigid in the plan, but actually let it unfold, there's the magic, right?
Yeah, you have to stay open.
Yeah.
Yes, staying open with the land, staying open with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you get a lot more out of it.
Yeah.
I think a lot more come to you too.
Yeah, I think it's really important for us to seat ourselves in gratitude and recognize that the land doesn't need us as much as we need it, and long after humans are around, Mother Earth will be working it out and fixing what we did, right?
Yeah.
So.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is Kerri Lavender, extraordinary person that I've known for many, many years, and it's always something new to hear something from you. I think this time around, you seem more mature. Maybe because you're laid back and you're focused more on the book, maybe. Because Kerri, she's a therapeutic clown, and she knows how to control that clown. So, I remember many times when it was that one year you were on the couch. Remember you brought that couch you found?
My couch, yeah.
I remember that one.
I took that couch all over the island,
Yeah.
and because I'm an aromatherapist, I took that couch to the dump and mixed essential oils on the couch in full clown at the dump. And people could sit on the couch at the festival and smell all the smells I made from sand-filled beach and this and blah, blah, blah. It was very fun. Yeah. You guys really, really create a space that inspires people to think outside of the box and just reach,
Yeah, but physically you're kind of challenging artists to be inside the box, but like how those explorations could work, right? So there's the physical part, but there's also those other parts those top parts that, it brings you different ideas, and it's a structure that a concept that we kind of stuck with, and based on like the carbon footprint and things like that, and how much piece of land can you use or how much stuff can you use and
Yeah.
things like that. So it was just like a standard to use it. Another one was when you did, was it pizza with Kerri the Clown or?
Yep. Pizza with Kerri the Clown. Yeah.
Yes, and that was the first time when my I think my daughters were in there making pizza with you. So that was something for them to experience.
And we didn't
I
have
should ask
basil. We didn't have basil for the pesto, so I think we made celery pesto or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like.
celery.
We went kind of outside of the box with it,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was super fun. There were people under the table making pizzas and on top of the table making pizzas. You know, like cultivate the chaos, right? Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we still continue the pizza journey.
Yeah.
In the past few years, we've been having pizza parties. 'Cause
Nice.
we think you anchored the pizza in the festival.
Awesome.
So maybe we'll have pizza again.
Yeah.
I have a pizza oven, like a little one we won.
Mhm.
That, you could put pizzas in, like a propane one.
Mhm.
So I don't know, maybe I'll bring it and maybe we can make some pizzas. 'Cause
Yeah, we
seems
did
like
pizza
we're
last
actually
year.
doing
Yeah.
pizzas.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I just like to say chimigwech to everybody for tuning in to Between Two Balls, the show that's powered by, remember?
Bingo balls.
You just rolled through another round of Between Two Balls. Remember, emotions, characters, chaos all come from the bingo cage. Subscribe, leave a review, and tell us what character and emotion should we pull next. Nahal. I love you. Zagan. Guamin. See you later.
So, sorry about that, but I think my mic is off, but I have some technical difficulties. Could you hear me? Can you unmute mine on that channel? I believe it's the second channel down.
Yeah.
MV7. Did you check it now?
It's not there.
It should be on the second one. Or go on this one. Is it on there? Second channel?
I can hear you through my phone.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're getting picked up off Kerri's.
Okay, maybe we share. Okay. So when did I get cut off? Does anybody know? Anybody know when I got cut off?
I think it was when you were talking to Kerri at near the end.
Okay, well, that's okay. We'll fix it up later. Does anybody have any questions for Kerri? Does anybody want to know anything else about Kerri? I know everyone's in awe because I'm in awe. You have a lot of great thoughts, and I think you put a lot of work into a lot of things, especially the book.
Thank you.
Is there anything?
Awesome.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
no questions.
No test, no after test? That's
No,
great.
no after tests.
Yeah.
And the 6 Foot Festival is happening. Can you hear me? The 6 Foot Festival is happening September 26th to the 27th, 2025. So the first day on the Friday, it's going to be 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with a lot of different things happening. There'll be artists working on installations. They're going to be performing in installations. There's going to be interactive installations. There's going to be food, music, presentations, and just a good time to network and meet all the artists that are coming here. I think there's 16 artists that are confirmed for the festival. So there's lots to explore. So everyone's welcome. You could all come and join us. And I think it's going to be great. We still need to figure out where your cube's going to go.
Indeed.
Yeah, which room, because usually we use different rooms every time, or what makes sense for you. Yeah.
I want the hiss of the radio in there. So
The hiss
yeah,
of the radio.
the hiss of the radio. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for having me. Debauch was great, and the festival, definitely make it out. It's free for everyone. There's always food. There's so many wonderful people. Just you are welcome, so definitely come out. And yeah, free Palestine and all Indigenous people in the world.
Yes, yes, miigwech for spreading the message and the love and the awareness. Can you hear me on this one yet?
No.
No? You sure? MV7, channel 2, above from the live studio, and then you should see MV7. All right, folks, this is how live goes. Anything could happen.
The power of being a teaching space.
Yeah. See, I have 3 mics. Which
One of
one
them
works? Well, if there's not any questions from anybody, I just want to say chimigwech, everybody, for tuning in on this live. And if you're catching the replay, sorry for the technical difficulties. If you're still watching it, we'll rectify this on the next one, as we have 2 more live streams happening tomorrow. One at 10 a.m. and one at 1 p.m. So keep a lookout for those. And until next time, keep those balls rolling.